Hello, everyone. This is Drew with Welcome to Boredom. Here I am at Envyborn Games booth here at PAX Unplugged. Who do I have the wonderful pleasure of being here with today?
Hey, I am Matthew Ryan of Envyborn Games, and I am totally here on my own free will and not forced to be here right now.
You did good. Good to see you, Matt. Thank you for your time. I really do appreciate it. You have a lot of people coming by the booth, so it does mean a lot that you can take some time to talk to me real quick.
Always got time for you, Drew.
I appreciate that. So tell me, how is your PAX Unplugged going?
PAX Unplugged has been great. We're staying very busy in the booth. People are loving the tiny games, specifically Confusing Lands. People are they're selling like hotcakes. And we have a free promo pack that we've been giving with people that buy it at the convention. And they really enjoy that. So it's been good.
Fantastic. Super happy to hear that. Now, next question I got for you. What games are you showing off here at the show?
So we are showing all of our tiny games. So we have Confusing Lands, Sirens, 16 Candies, and Defrag. We're also showing our next 3 games in the Tiny Game series, which is Prowl, Dragon Roost, and Space Potato. So we specialize in tiny games. We're just going to keep making tiny games.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. That's wonderful to hear. All right. Now, let me ask this question. I'm not sure if you designed any of the games or you had a hand in designing the games, or you probably had someone come along. And I know I do believe it is Space Potato was made by Ammon and it was designed. And so, are you in the design process a lot with these tiny games, or how does that go about?
Right. So when I first started, I designed my first games that I made, and then I found out I'm not a great designer. So I don't design games anymore. But what I do is when people pitch me games, typically they need a lot of development work still. So I'll usually work with the designer and we'll tweak a lot of stuff in the game. Like, what if we try this or change that? What does this do? So I do a lot of development work on the games I work with, and some of them are just ready to go as they are, and that's always great too.
That's fantastic. So here, this is going to lead into the next question. So these next 3 games that are coming out in the Tiny Game series, what was the thing that you said, I got to have these? These are going to be a part of the Tiny Game series. What was it?
Okay, well, I love that they fit in the box, so that's always important. But no, so with Dragon Roost, it is a cooperative dexterity game by Henry Audubon and Chris Kingsnorth, who are pretty well-known designers, which was a really awesome opportunity to get to work with them. And what I liked about it a lot is the theme and the mechanisms are not something I currently have in the tiny games. So currently, I'm trying to get games that have different themes and different mechanisms because I don't want any of them to repeat, at least yet. And that was kind of the same thing with the other 2 as well. So Space Potato, a space theme, and it's a worker placement resource management by Ammon Anderson, who is the creator of Gnome Hollow. He's a great friend of mine and also a pain in the ass. But the game is a lot of fun, and I've been working with him pretty closely developing it, and it's been a fun process. And then Prowl is by Kristen Mott, who is an up-and-coming designer. She has a few designs under her belt, a bunch of stuff getting signed. She's super sweet and talented, and I love the idea of having like a nice tiger game, and it's an area control game where you're marking territory and trying to expand your territory that you control.
That's fantastic. Wow, great things. And so tell me a little bit about the inspiration with Sirens, Defrag, 16 Candies, and Confusing Lands. Can you talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, so Sirens was the first tiny game. My friend showed it to me, and I was like, oh, I love this. I was like, I have to have this. And so I talked to him about it, and we figured it out. And I was like, I want to do this game with you. And when we were thinking about it, I was like, well, launching one game on Kickstarter that this is small is kind of tough because there's a lot of expenses that go into running a Kickstarter. So I wanted to get a few other games on board with it, and that's how I got Defrag and 16 Candies involved. And after that, we launched the Kickstarter with those 3, and we did really well with it. We learned people like tiny games. We were able to pay for some of the expenses because most people were buying all 3 games at once instead of one small game. And then after that, Confusing Lands was pitched to me after Gen Con of 2023, and I thought it was great. And it was pretty far along in its process, so I wanted to launch it before. I didn't want to wait for another Kickstarter because I needed 2 other games and I didn't have anything in the fire. Now I have a ton of stuff, which is awesome. But it was a great game, and I had a ton of conventions lined up. So I was like, let's just print this. We'll launch on the website and bring it to all the conventions. And it's been great. As I said earlier, it's our #1 seller right now.
Wow, fantastic! Congratulations with that. And so here are the next couple questions I got. I think I got 2 more, and then we'll be good. Right. And I'll let you get back. It's busy. You're busy here at the booth. So here's the next question for you. The next question being, where can people find this stuff? Where can we find the games outside of PAX Unplugged? Are you in MSRP as well? You can also mention are you in retail? My apologies. Are you in retail? Are you got Kickstarters coming up? Tell me what's going on. Where can we find all of your games?
Yeah, so I have my website, envyborngames.com. So you can get everything there. That helps me the most as an indie publisher. I do work with some distribution and retailers, so they're available at some retail locations, hopefully more soon. I also sell on Amazon, and I go to all the major conventions in the US at least. So yes, maybe you couldn't make PAX Unplugged, but if you're going to any other conventions, you'll probably see me in my black Envyborn Games shirt. So
yeah, absolutely, and you'll be able to see with the fanny pack too. So yeah, see, we racking that right there. So I would go ahead and say, yeah, absolutely. Be sure to check that out. You heard it here first. Be able to check out his website. Last question I got for you. Big plans, 2025. I hear Envyborn Game has like a lot of things going on. Could you kind of tell us what's happening in 2025?
So in 2025 right now, we're slated to launch 5 games. So we have Kalahari, which is a meerkat area control game. Everyone that plays it absolutely loves it. If you haven't heard about it, look it up. It's awesome. And then we have the other 3 tiny games that we were talking about. Beyond that, we're starting development on even more tiny games. So we just have a lot of irons in the fire there.
Fantastic. So big things coming for Envyborn Games. That's awesome. All right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it very much. And as well, I'm Drew. This is Welcome to Boredom here at the Envyborn Games booth. Go check out the Tiny Game series as well. Continuing on, more interviews here at PAX Unplugged.